Welcome back, everybody, for Session 5 of Tales by Daggerlight, where we play Daggerheart. What did we do last time? Does anybody?
What did we do, Seraphina?
Walk into.
What did we do?
No.
We did a thing.
Yeah,
Seraphina and the Warriors.
We'll get into the recap a little bit later, but before we get started, let's take a moment to hear from one of our heroic sponsors, Luck Factory Games.
This episode of Tales by Daggerlight is powered by our friends at Luck Factory Games, the board game cafe where adventures come alive. Right here in Concord, North Carolina, Luck Factory isn't just a place to grab dice. It's where we first rolled into Daggerheart. We found our party and kicked off the story you're hearing now. The shelves are stacked with games. The tables are set for quests, and the community is ready to welcome you with open arms. And maybe some snacks. Check out luckfactorygames.com and start your own campaign today.
In every city, every kingdom, there's a story that never sees the light. The one that falls through the cracks, bleeds through the floorboards, and smiles when the sun finally goes down. Where heroic promises, broken oaths, bad decisions, and desperate prayers all sit at the same table. 6 heroes emerge out of the edge of the shadows. Kieran.
No matter what, there will be consequences.
Zeph.
That asshole didn't die.
Pinakua.
You said we were talking, but you're not saying it.
Seraphina.
Look, I have the voice of an angel. We all know.
Severian.
It's not a murder if he's food.
And Basagar.
We need to get to the castle.
Together, they walk the line between mercy and ruin, rolling bones against hope and fear in a world that wants them obedient, or worse, dead. So lace your boots, check your blades, and hold your breath. Meet us at the blade's edge. Once this story starts, it doesn't let you go. This is Tales by Daggerlight.
Previously, Wilhelm returned from the brink of death babbling about first blood and the visions of the city collapsing, while Father Ulrich Fane nearly exhausted himself keeping Wilhelm alive. You brought the Beta Prince down to a sewer safe house in the Grates of Gutterrun, and there you found Prince Manny, overheard a hit planned for Prince Ridian, and when a guard found you, Zeph dragged them down and Basagar ended them swiftly. On his body, a tracking chit stamped M-Zeph Varel, signed E.D. Then Basagar and Severian saw the same memories from Zeph's blood. King Elric promising a pregnant woman named Linessa her child would be hidden. And Zeph went cold, because Linessa is his mother's name. While talking to Wilhelm, he told you about his love interest named Angelica. She was the reason he was down in the Hasp market in the first place, and was very concerned about her well-being. Seraphina bought Ashava's loyalty, for now, and told him to go check on Angelica in the Brine and Barrel Tavern. The Varelian Guard were fast approaching, and Zeph led you through the sewers with guidance from Pinakua, and you chose Lowthorn as your exit. The tunnel narrowed into thorn-choked stone as it forced you onto a brutal 150-foot ladder, and halfway up, green oozes, acid slime that clung and burned, fell down from the sewers above. Cutting them didn't seem to solve it. Each one split into smaller copies, dropping below like the sewer was reproducing problems on purpose. As you scrambled, you finally saw the source. A massive, heaving slime mass filling the passage, shedding pieces of itself into the flow. Patient, endless, and hungry. You burst into Lowthorn, filthy and scratched, heartbeats still sprinting, only to find the district strangely normal on the surface. Guildfolk, artisans, and hurried patrols chasing bigger crises than you, which made you briefly invisible. You took that sliver of luck and ducked into the Rusted Piper, Lowthorn's notorious fight pit and gambling hall, hoping for cover, air, and a plan. Instead, Seraphina's smooth-talking got you inside, and you got mistakenly booked as tonight's entertainment because the real band didn't show. So that's where you ended. Backstage in a roaring arena and tavern, introduced as Seraphina and the Warriors, a band with no instruments, smelling like sewer water, trying to look confident, while the first blood still hangs over the city like a curse with teeth. But we open the scene in the B green room with Seraphina and the Warriors.
Am I to understand that you have people that fight each other for fun and other people watch
Yeah.
for fun?
Yeah.
Not because they need to survive.
No, just to blow off some steam. And you can
Interesting.
make money too.
Very interesting.
People get pretty drunk and the tips get pretty good, though, by the end of the night.
Seraphina,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly is a ballad battle?
A ballad battle?
Isn't that
Battle Ballad
Battle
is
Ballad.
what you have agreed to partake in. A Battle Ballad is a new entertainment event here at the Rusted Piper.
Does Seraphina know what we signed up for?
No, but she figures if it involves needing to sing good and capturing the eye of the crowd, she's got it.
so? Like I said, what?
Well, I'm assuming that there's probably other performers. And
Like the ones that called out sick.
I mean, they said that they did, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah. You know how, like, when you took us through the sewers and we found out how horrible it was?
Oh, I knew ahead of time. If you had asked, I would have told you exactly what we were in for. So,
Yeah, well,
I mean, they're sewers. What did you expect?
oh, no, but not green things. That was weird.
So, just a thought. Could you maybe go ask what this particular form of entertainment entails?
Sure. So, yeah, she pops out of the green room and either looks for Korga or Cell and asks for a little bit more information so that I can make sure that my performance is what the people want to see for tonight.
You see Korga off in the distance. He looks like he's talking with a bunch of attendants and patrons of the Rusted Piper. The first person you see is Syl. He looks like he's kind of getting ready. He's putting on like a vest, and it looks like it's like getting his showmanship garb down. He sees you coming up. He goes, all right, Seraphina, are you ready? The stage is about to open.
Yeah, I just had a quick question because, like, when I've performed here before, there were definitely people in the pit.
Yeah.
And I was on the stage and I performed while people were fighting. I just was checking, like, is that what's going on tonight?
Have you never done a battle ballad before?
No. So I was just like, I want to make sure that I give the people the performance that they came for.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, a battle ballad, you're going to be going up against the house band.
Okay.
They're going to be on the stage opposite you. There's still going to be fighting in the ring, but whatever.
Okay.
It's they're gonna perform, then you're gonna perform. Then there'll be a give and take. So it's
Okay. So is it like an applause thing? Like, so the audience, whoever the audience likes best wins?
sure, yeah.
Is there prize money?
There's always prize money, dear.
Now you're talking my
Yeah,
language,
you'll get
Sally.
a cut of the gate.
All right. And she gives him a little pat on the face and goes, "Thanks, sweetheart." And she turns back and goes back in.
You're on in 5. Make sure you're ready.
Okay.
I think from there, as she's walking away, we cut to Bassigar looking at Kieran as he's slightly larger than a Doberman dog. Clarity. Who's like double coated, and he's kind of like sitting as like a dog would sit. And Bassigar again still looks the same color, whereas this time there are speckled spots, but those speckled spots are his like mushroom cap color. And he's looking, and he kind of holds up his paws a little bit. He's like, "So you mean like this? You want me to sit like this?" And that will
A little bit further back on your haunches.
and he leans back.
There you go. That looks
almost natural enough to not freak everyone out.
I see.
Almost.
And then I hold a hat in my mouth and ask for money?
You don't ask for money. You just look at them with, like, upturned eyes.
Yeah.
Like this, and he's going to try to make puppy dog eyes.
Sure.
Can I roll? See how well
Absolutely. Yeah.
What is this? A presence roll?
I feel like Bass would be kind of good at doing puppy
Presence
dog
roll?
eyes,
Presence,
right?
yeah. You are trying to charm.
I have a -1 to presence. And a dog or household friend beast form does not have any pluses to that. So
I'm going to give you a roll with advantage.
shenanigans.
Crit.
Can I do my companion D8 advantage? As a companion, I help an ally. I can roll a D8 as my advantage die instead.
Absolutely.
All right. Great.
Nice.
Okay. It's not a crit, but it's a dirty crit.
Yeah.
Because I rolled a 12 and a total of 12 with the D8 and the D6 or D12. So I have 24 for a 23.
Folks. We're coining it a dirty crit.
Dirty crit. That is a 23.
A 23. You are you almost forget he's Basagar for a second.
So like this.
You start pulling money out of your pocket to put in the hat. You're like, what am I doing?
Yes, just go out, like, now, like that. Yes.
That's not bad. But remember, dog who cannot talk.
Woof.
There you go.
Perfect.
I mean,
I think that's going to terrify people, but all right.
I mean, honestly, though, having a dog that talks might be kind of cool.
Oh, hey. So what did you find out?
A knock at the door. It is Syl. Right. I know you guys aren't ready yet. Just want to poke my head in, make sure you guys are aware. Do you have a somebody to introduce you?
Sure.
All right, good. I didn't know if you wanted somebody from the house to do it for you, but I just making sure. All right, yeah.
Sal, if you want to do it for us, sweetie, that would be great.
Oh, I'm doing it for the other band. I can't do you.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
Woof.
Cute dog.
Thanks.
What's wrong with his head?
He's special.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's
To
a good
specify, I
boy.
do not have a mushroom cap on my head. I just
You don't
have
have
no.
Oh, okay.
I have
you were like a dog with
no.
cap.
To clarify, I have my mushroom colored cap with like the red and the white
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
are spotted throughout my body.
Okay. I thought you were just
So
a
I'm
dog
like
with a
a
mushroom
furry or
head.
Dalmatian with the size of like a Great Dane.
I gotcha.
With
okay.
really weird coloration.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I wish to compete in the fighting for fun.
What was that? What?
I wish to compete in the fighting for fun.
You're not part of the band?
I am with these people, but I wish to compete in the fighting.
As a solo act.
I am a warrior from a far land.
Yeah, he wants to get in the fighting ring.
Huh.
Trust me, it'll be interesting.
By yourself.
Should I kill them or
Kill them?
Do we go that far?
It's never to the death here, but if they don't yield, I'd say it's on them how far you take it.
And if I eat them?
What? No. You don't.
After they're dead, of course.
No.
Oh, a little less fun, but...
What have you gotten yourselves into, Seraphina? What?
It's good to have friends.
Kieran is curled up in a ball in the corner of the room, hiding his face.
Yeah. Prince Wilhelm is kind of sitting there, and he's got a hood on, like ducked down real low. Syl goes, "Oh, well, yeah. If you want to enter the fight as a solo competitor, that could be. Give me a second. Let me make a round around the crowd, see if I can get some bets going."
Is that a yes on the killing?
If they yield, no killing.
Explain the concept of yielding.
That's usually when they throw their
Beg for
weapons
mercy.
down and they say, "You won. You're stronger than me."
I've never seen such a thing.
Well, you might.
You need me to join you? Or are you doing this alone?
It's a thrill. I'm excited to go. I can do it alone.
I give you the puppy dog look.
I feel like it has the opposite effect.
You hear the crowd's starting to murmur and get loud. The people are starting to get seated. You can see like through a little window in the door that on the other stage there are some what looks like members kind of starting up, and they looks like they're setting up some type of instrumental. They got this big like bass lute that's kind of like setting on like a big barrel of like a drum that they're using to reverberate the low frequency, and there's some other guys that look like they're tuning their hand guitar or lyre, whatever they're doing, but it looks like they're prepping themselves for sure.
How badly do we want to win?
We'll win.
How likely is that really?
I don't know. It depends on how terrible you guys are.
Let's assume we are.
Okay.
It's a safe assumption.
I think it is. Yeah.
Do we wish to win?
Were there any rules? What happens if we lose?
Oh, then we let Severin kill the other band.
Oh, okay. Seems like low risk.
I was kidding. I was kidding, Kieran.
You can't say these things in front of him. He'll take it seriously. Look, he's already sharpening his sword.
100% took it seriously.
Like Severin.
Severin's just eyeing up the
I
other
put a
band.
paw on his sword and just lower
Do
it.
we want to sabotage the other band?
I don't have to kill them if they yield. I've learned this.
I mean, if you have a way
The
of
ones in the
sabotaging the other band,
I'm not saying I don't.
Kieran, I find it disappointing that you don't have more faith in my performing skills.
Your performing skills are fine. It's when you signed 5 others up.
I am with
Sorry,
Kieran
6
on
others
this.
up. Wilhelm, you're not getting out of this.
No. I don't even have my flute.
You would.
Do you
Does
want
the
me to-
other band have a flute?
No. I mean, I guess they could. You never know.
Severian is preparing to fight, and he's going to use 3 hope for the no mercy ability,
Hell yeah.
which gives me +1 bonus to my attack rolls until my next rest.
Yeah.
Nice. If you give me a flute, I'll gladly try to play along.
I'll go see what I can acquire.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a few, like just a little bit to activate my Uncanny Disguise spell to change my appearance completely.
Makes sense.
Into a fairly just plain looking person. The exact type of person you would expect to be a patron at this type of establishment. And I'm just going to walk right on out.
Okay.
And make a beeline towards Syl or Korga, whoever I can see.
Yeah, you see Syl. He is making his way down to the fighting arena, kind of climbing down the like a rope ladder that they've rolled out for him to climb down. He's got his Master of Ceremonies vest on. Looks like he's getting ready to address the crowd, and you can see what looks like a half-orc sitting in a booth, kind of watching over, kind of on the center side. He's just kind of looking down. He's got big kind of tusks that stick up from his bottom jaw. But he would be the most approachable at the moment.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
Yeah, go sit down. The show's about to start.
Well, the band over there, they've been asking for instruments. They didn't bring their own.
Who? The Iron Strings?
No, the other one.
Oh, fucking rookies.
What do you need?
Flute, harp, whatever else you can acquire. You never know.
All right.
You see, he reaches into his vest pocket and pulls out like a piccolo, and hands it to you.
That's about all I got.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I love the flute. Don't break that. You hear? If you break it, you're paying for it.
I never. It's not mine.
Bring it right back when you're done.
I'll be sure they do.
Right.
Okay, you go back in with a little pickle flute.
Wilhelm, this is all I could acquire. Do not break this, please.
He plays it, and like the super high shrill sharp of the flute comes through, and it's like his pitching and everything's like but it's surprising. He's like, oh, thanks. I'm great at jamming, so well, I can just kind of vibe with you.
Good Lord.
I'll just follow along. You hear out in the distance, Syl addresses the crowd. The crowd, the rumbles come to a stop to listen to Sill's famous introductions. You hear,
Lords and ladies, scoundrels and sinners, sharpen your knives and raise your mugs, for tonight the stage trembles with steel and sound. From the shattered back alleys of Lowthorn, from the graveyards of melody and murder, I give you the scourge of silence itself, the Iron Strings!
And everybody goes through as they start jamming on their lyres and lutes, and there's a guy that's like on the drum. He continues,
on the war drum, the breaker of bones, the thunder that walks, Garuk Drumhide!
He goes into like little drum solo. Everybody starts cheering. Women are going crazy with over Garrick's. He's obviously, the drummers are the best in the band.
That's right.
Obviously.
Plucking death from the strings of a razor wire, the quiet shadow of a small sharper than steel, Needle Nissa!
Like a fiddle starts like, and starts going crazy. Sounds like these guys have the advantage here. This is the house band.
From the depths of the infernal throat where song and sin and breath is battle, the voice that commands the armies, Vira Shard voice!
And you hear this loud shrill of a voice come in.
Blowing brass like cannon fire, the gnome who shakes rafters and blinds the bold, Fennec the Brass!
And you hear like a trumpet or like a bugle start going through. This is a heavy metal ska band, is what it's going to be turning into here. And then finally the last one.
And sawing out dirges of your souls with bow and bone, the maestro of macabre, Drelith the Bone Bowed.
You hear like a harp, like a lute and a hand harp, just start going crazy. It's an odd cacophony, but it is metal sounding. It is hype. The crowd is loving it. The drums start and they start going off. And he kind of looks back towards your green room. He goes, and he's like, come on.
Zeph kind of pushes Kua and Beta Prince William up onto the stage in front of him and kind of gestures for everyone else to come up.
And behind them, I slip into the crowd while still disguised.
Oh, you dirty bastard.
Oh, yeah.
So once they all get on the stage, Seraphina gives it just a moment. And then, unlike usual, she actually walks out onto the stage. She's not flying. But it's a very slow, controlled walk, and you guys see like a change in her. So she has the whip that she used against the oozes in her hand, and she strolls out and walks directly to the end of the stage, looks across at the other band, and just cracks her whip.
You hear the crowd goes kind of silent as people are looking at you, and you hear Seraphina's back, and you hear like a slow roar of applause, and it's not as much as the Iron Strings, but you are recognized.
Zeph steps up. Lords and ladies, you know her, you love her. She needs no introduction. I'm gonna shut up so she can do her thing. Seraphina and the Warriors.
A few clapping, like they don't like Seraphina and the Warriors. Do you know? Like it's like more like, but there are folks that are Seraphina fans that are cheering. But it is as this ballad starts to ensue. You see that the Iron Strings kind of like sits back, stops. Sill looks at it, goes,
all right, now, Seraphina and the Warriors, you're up.
If you want to act this out, we definitely, I would absolutely love it. But we can.
I don't know if I want to chase away our audience this early on.
Yeah. Okay. But if you want to narratively describe what you do, but first off, whoever is in the band at the moment, Severian, you are being escorted down to the fighting ring by one of the attendees here. But who is actively performing?
Cool.
The four of you? Yeah.
I mean, I am on the stage.
So the four
as
of
a dog.
You.
And Wilhelm.
And Wilhelm.
And Wilhelm.
The five of us.
Don't forget Willie.
Manny.
And Manny.
Oh, yeah. Well, Manny's still just perched on my shoulder.
Yeah. It's kind of like a weird, like, size chart.
Well, and I would say when we were in the back room, she would ask Manny, you know, like, so what's your thing, Manny? Like, what, you know, like, you're a prince. What else do you do?
Oh, I don't really have any musical skills, but I can make noises with my legs. Yeah, that's unfortunately they don't really make instruments at my size.
I mean, you could use your legs. Do you have any affinity with Lumara? Lumara?
Yeah, Lumora. Lumora is the magic energy around everybody that you guys can tap into.
Well, I can't really wield it like I've seen you guys, but yeah, I've dabbled.
Well, if you know how to make like little light sparkles or anything like that, feel free.
I think I could make something work.
Okay. So since we're going first, I am...
Before you start, I have a question.
Okay.
How far across is it between the two stages? Would you say it's
So you're
close?
on other sides. So that is
Opposite here?
far
range. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
that ruins my plan, but answers my question.
Yeah, so I know I know I have a battle map sitting out there with that for the fighting arena, but we have to do our best to actively describe what we are doing for the listeners, because obviously the listeners can't see the map. That I have a battle map in the center of the table that is going to be depicting
Don't let Kurt
where.
lie to you. Check our social media. We'll have some pictures up, and you can keep up on the episode.
Yep, there you go. Okay. Seraphine and the Warriors. Let's hear it. What you got?
So I will roll for my performance, basically. I'm gonna sing. It's a song that she has written like in the past, but she's going to update it a little bit as she's going, kind of change a few lyrics here and there. And she's not rapping, but she's going full rap battle and talking shit about the other band.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to spend a hope. Now, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
With your experiences, can you only use one on a roll, or can you use both?
As long as you have hope to spend, you can use as many as you can. And as many that makes sense.
Okay, well, I mean, we only have two, but actually, kind of both of them would fit. So her first experience is femme fatale. So like I said, she tightened up her corset. She, fixed herself up. So she's full cupcake mode at this point. And the other experience is silver-tongued.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that works. So go ahead and spend your 2 hope.
Yep.
I also spend a hope to help from the crowd by getting them kind of riled up, stamping my feet, and just like kind of working to get them at least somewhat energetic for this performance.
Okay. Well, before you do, I want you to make a presence check to see how well this works before you can spend a hope to help her out.
That's a 10 with fear.
I'm going to say that you try to gather the troops, gather the attention, and try to get them roused up to cheer for Seraphine and the Warriors. But it just, nothing happens out of it.
I'm not trying to get them to cheer, just to as she begins to kind of stamp along, just to get a rhythm going.
Yeah, you feel like people are just clapping along just for the sake of it, just they hear you doing it and said are we supposed to be doing that? Okay,
better than nothing.
But it's not genuine cheering. But you can get advantage, or I think you roll your d6. Yeah.
Okay. So 19 with hope.
Plus 5.
Plus 5
that would be
hope.
24? Yeah, 24
nice.
with hope.
Okay, what's everybody else doing in the band here?
think if she's going like epic, like rap battle, dissing the other band, I think Zeph will be back in the background, like hype manning her up, like
bouncing and stuff.
Like trying to hype everything up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn this into a multi-dimensional performance here. Kua's gonna jump up into, I assume there's some rafters or something similar.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna start pounding on the ceiling, pounding on the rafters in time, trying to like shift the attention around, make people look at different things, and try and get the audience.
Yeah, right. Sweet. Okay. All right. What's the puppy dog doing over there?
I'm currently wearing the hat. I imagine it's like a very like old, stained, like semi-tall top hat.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of cocked to the side, as it's. And what I'm doing is, as soon as they start going, and like I'm kind of like thumping my tail to the beat, I notice that as soon as you take off up towards the ceiling, I think this is my cue to leave the stage, and I'm going to spend a stress. It's almost looks like my fur is shedding, as like a husky would kind of just like start, like they're just walking and fur is just kind of coming off. As I embody the element of air, I'm gonna hop off the stage and just kind of like jump around tables and like not even land on the tables, just kind of like hop around and like to the beat of the music.
Okay.
And like hop around and just kind of like, I don't know, do
hop
something.
and
Yeah.
Dance and like put your paw up.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, so this song goes off and it doesn't take long before the crowd starts, like you hear like them like stomping and like with the help of the assistants of Pinakua up in the rafters, and Basagar, you jump on the tables, and Kieran, you are kind of like slowly just like egging them on from the background. You have our Be Real hype man is
we didn't get Wilhelm yet.
No,
I want to see him riffing on the
Wilhelm kind of like steps up and he like looks, and he kind of like really kind of takes in what's going on, and you see him like, ooh, his shoulders drop a little bit, but he, you know what? Let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, it wasn't terrible. He's got some nerves to shake out here a little bit, but he kind of waits for it, and he's kind of like waiting for the right moment to start playing his pickle flute, and he like goes through. He's like, this really isn't the right vibe for whatever, and he goes like blows into it the first time, and the first note's kind of sharp. He goes in, he kind of dresses it down as everybody's like, ugh. But he finally gets into his rhythm and starts like going into a nice little pickle accompaniment to a freestyle rap battle, since that's the only instrument is a pickle at the moment. and beats, pickle and beats.
Pickle and beats.
Pickle and beats.
Pickle and beats. Hold on.
Sounds like a horrible salad.
That might be the episode.
Pickle and beats.
Thank you for that.
Overall, a incredible success for your first song. The iron strings over there are kind of like they're nodding a little bit, and they're kind of like, you can see them like whispering back and forth, and they got, as soon as it sounds like your song is like coming to an end, they interrupt you by a loud opening power chord, which is then drown out everybody instantly. Starts going crazy as they are strumming. They're playing. You see, like some of them are going through and like looking at each other as most of the people are still like stomping to the beat of your song, and it's kind of like throwing them out of rhythm a little bit, where they start to you see them kind of like look around as they are kind of getting a little frustrated and flustered. They eventually start they start going through, and when the crowd doesn't feel it, you start to hear some boos a little bit. As everybody starts kind of like stomping. Sarah, Vina. They start going through. as you see Syl walks out into the middle of the fighting ring, goes,
all right, calm down, everybody. That was a great opening set of numbers from Seraphina and the Warriors and the Iron Strings. Everybody give them a hand. And
everyone starts clapping and hooting and hollering. There are plenty of names start shouting, Seraphina and the Warriors.
He's like, now, without further ado, let me introduce you to your entertainment down on the ground floor. Gather round, you gutter-born, high-born, and half-born. The rusted piper rings not only with song tonight, but with steel and screams. 3 troops enter the pit, but only one walks out to drink tomorrow's ale. First, hoping. Am I reading this right? Hoping? No, maybe hopping? Oh. Hopping from the swamps of the sorrow and slick, the stink of the blood and the bog water, they leap, they croak, and they kill. Give it up for the croaking crushers and the rib-cracking raiders, the swamp spawn storm, the Ribbits!
Deftly named as you hear the crowd,
Ribbits!
as
frog legs for dinner.
Severian's totally eating.
Some frog folk jump out, kind of come through the entrance to the fighting ring here. I don't know, is this? Oh,
that's me.
Go ahead. So you need to be on stage. So the stage is kind of like raised on the other side of this platform.
Oh, I'm like up in the rafters.
Yeah, you're up in the rafters.
Yeah, someone's totally gonna eat a frog.
I know I was way off mic when I did that, so sorry if you couldn't hear me. I should be picked up by somebody. But the Ribbits start coming through. He's like, and now let me introduce our fellow contestants, our challengers. These are. He starts flipping through some of his notes. I don't have an introduction for you. What do you want to call yourselves? And like a timid voice kind of peeks out the door. He goes, I didn't know we were supposed to have an introduction. I'm sorry. It's like I don't know. Just call me anything. What is the challenger's name? You guys get to pick it.
Anything?
Yes. Syl goes, all right. Our challengers for tonight. They are an enigma. They are unknown. Their talents are a mystery to us all. They don't want to let anybody know what they do. Here is anything. And it goes, no.
I feel like they are Galapagos.
They're Galapagos?
Yeah.
Okay. The 4 turtles. They kind of like roll out into their shell and they kind of like get into place and they're stop and get into different poses. What weapons are they holding?
Oh, you gotta have a bow staff,
nunchucks. No, 100%. They're all wearing colorful masks too, right?
Yeah.
Because they're enigmas.
Enigmas.
We
they don't
did just have ooze in the sewer.
Oh,
you know.
Oh, and Severin kind of resembles Shredder a little bit.
No, it's true. I was about to ask if there was a rat.
There is a rat. It's Mister. It's your rat.
Mister's still here.
Right.
Don't worry, he's still here.
He's just munching away on.
But yeah, so the anything sets up. They start getting ready for battle. He goes, but that's not all, folks. We got a surprise mystery for you. A last-second guest. He is part of the Seraphine and the Warriors, chosen to step here and do battle amongst the music. Welcome to the stage. Shit, I don't even think I got his name. Introduce yourself.
The human spider.
The humans.
Not really. You remember that from Spider-Man 1?
Yeah, I do. I was rolling with it.
It's like the lamest name ever.
Yeah.
No,
what? The human spider? No.
Severian the Briar Warrior.
Severian the Briar Warrior! And you walk out and everybody goes, oh, shit.
As he finishes his sentence, I want to bang on the ceiling again, try and pick up a rhythm again.
As it goes through.
Sure.
As Severian is being introduced, I'm gonna do a wild touch and perform a slight gust of wind to make his cape billow.
I do have a bit of
As I kind of hop over, I just kind of hop over the pit and jump across to the other side, and just a little wind just go billows his cape.
Okay, so Severian, if you want to put your mini on the battlefield where you would like to, you have the anything group on the other side, the 4 Galapagos turtles on one side, each ready with their chosen weapons of choice, and the ribbits, so aptly named, on the other side. In the middle, in the fray, is Severian. You guys are up for the next song. Syl looks at you as he starts, makes his way over to the rope ladder, leaning over the wall, going down into the sunken pit.
Seraphina and the Warriors, you're next with your tune. As soon as your first drum will enact the start of this fight.
And he goes and he starts climbing up out of the pit.
All right. So I'm going to use a troubadour song for this one. So I'm going to do an epic song, which I can also make a target temporarily vulnerable. I'm going to hit their singer.
Okay, what does this look like?
So this epic song, she sings about battle and about warriors clashing and the sounds of war and the just this epic, and her voice just fills this whole room. It's just, you guys can almost hear the stone walls rattling as she hits some of these notes. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that.
And I, as a help action, as you go to start off, do just do a doo-doo and jump out of the rafters in front of the iron strings and just slam down on the ground for a
okay.
right before you start.
I was going to say, and this time around, instead of hyping up, I think Zeph also is going to spend a hope for advantage, so it'll be the better of our 2 rolls. This time he's going to drop back off stage so that he is hidden from the crowd. He's going to draw Elendra, and as the song begins to crescendo and as she begins to invoke this feeling of battle, he's going to begin slashing and creating a light show above the stage with the sword slashes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am going to use one more hope to use my silver-tongued experience again. All right, so if you guys want to roll your d6, I'm going to... Dang, that was almost a crit. So 27, unfortunately, with fear by 1 point. It was a 6 and a 7. And that also means their singer is vulnerable.
Yeah. The song that you sing, and Wilhelm is still he's falling into the rhythm. You look like his nervousness, his anxiety has passed. He's getting into it. He's walking up with you, kind of leaning onto your shoulder and playing the pickle. And as you sing, as the lights are flashing around from Elendra and the beats and the intimidation from Nakua, what are you doing for this second performance?
I think as I land from jumping across the pit, I'm walking around as a dog, and I think what happens is Basigar, would you say there's candlelit stuff all across?
Yeah.
I think what Basigar is going to do is, as he jumps down, he's going to walk around for a moment, and the fire is going kind of like a mix of wild touch. It says that I can instantly start a campfire or stuff, something like that.
Yep.
I would like to instead draw the fire from all the candles lit, and I will mark a stress to convert my element into fire, as the hackles around my dog form just starts to ignite into flame as I'm walking around, just kind of looking I'm not I mean, dogs aren't necessarily looking for prey, but they still have that instinct.
Yeah.
That's stalking.
And then, like, I think he's just kind of stalking around closer to the enemy's stage.
Okay. You kind of like, as you're moving around, everybody's like, whoa! And just the awe of the fire kind of like coalescing on you as most of the fire and the candles extinguish, kind of darkening the room a little bit, which makes the lights even brighter and puts more on a light show. It is a astounding success. But as that first note was struck, the battle ensues. You see both teams kind of stop back, and they look like they're judging each other and trying to anticipate the first move. No, not one of them wants to move first, but you look and you see one of the ribbits, the one right in front of closest to Nakua. He is a springy little fella. You see him, he's got what looks like a sword and a shield, and he bends down really quick and he jumps up super high. As he jumps across the map, lands next to the one Galapagos with we'll say probably the purple mask and a long stick, the staff. As he goes in, makes an attack as the Galapagos moves to make the block, and the sword goes like right through the staff as he kind of like stops in. Now he's got two shorter sticks. Looks like he's going to go in for like a barrage attack and starts hitting them and kind of like flipping around, probably saying some weird snarky comments. But yeah, the battle ensues. You can move all the contestants kind of like right on the front line. So Severian, what are you doing at the moment? As looks like everybody except for like the shaman as fuck looking one. But yeah, he stays there.
Severian's like in shock for a second because he's never seen people fight this way. He's just used to people like feral, tearing each other apart, doing whatever they can to win. He's not used to like, let's get down in an arena and face each other and then charge. So for a second, he just stands there before he lets out this like maniacal laugh and then just lunges at the first closest person.
Okay.
It was probably the guy on the left. Who's a turtle?
Yeah.
You don't even have to move to hit him.
Oh, can I?
All these minis I have, and I don't have any.
Can I
turtles.
retcon one thing?
Yep.
Before we left the green room and came out to perform, she would have like given you guys a little pep talk that you guys are going to do such a great job.
Sweet,
Don't forget
thank
your
you.
rally dice.
Oh yeah.
Very helpful.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the other thing. Can I say I had bet on myself before I went down here?
To win or lose?
Oh, to win.
No, to win?
Yeah.
Okay.
I only have a handful of gold.
And if
it's probably
he
nothing, but
didn't have time to do so, while disguised, I will do so.
Okay.
on who?
On you.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
All right, I'm attacking.
How much are you betting?
Just a handful.
Just a
That's all I have. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure the odds are pretty bad for me to win.
I'll cheat if we need to.
16 with fear to hit.
That does hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. They will spotlight next.
It was a 1, but I have the card not good enough. So since it's a 1, I get to reroll. 11 physical damage.
11.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'll say that is major damage on the turtle guy as you jump in. He kind of like shrieks a little bit, but he enacts. He's like, "Fuck you, mister," and he like takes out his size and he goes in for like a couple jab attacks as some enemies going up against you. The Galapagos guy attacks you with his weapons. That is a 12 against your evasion.
That barely misses.
Barely misses. You kind of dodge out of the way, kind of push it
Get
around.
down on all fours. He's not used to somebody doing that.
Yeah, he's not used to that. But as you dodge out of the way, you put yourself in a vulnerable position for the ribbit warrior that runs up behind you with a battle axe. Is going to strike down. I will give myself advantage with that fear. Whoa! Thank God that was a natural 1. That is a 16 to hit.
That hits.
That is 12 points of physical damage to you as the ribbit comes down, slashes you right in the back, and he is going to mark a stress to give you a stress. So he forces a stress upon you. The rest of the battle map, they're fighting each other. Swords, clings, things going on. The iron strings start when they start tuning in on top of everything. Now you guys are playing at the same time, and you like somehow it's making this odd kind of metal and kind of like fantasy rock song that is kind of meshing because they're vibing with you, and you see that the lead singer of the Iron Strings is kind of like the band kind of like keeps looking at her to like, when are you gonna start singing? And he goes to, or she goes to step into the mic and like kind of pulls back a little bit, looking down at Seraphina, and just kind of like pauses for a moment, and you hear the crowd go, ooh, just afraid to make a sound, but the band kind of picks up a little harder, and you see the band, the Lumora around the instrument starts glowing as one of the guy holding the like the hand lute or lyre kind of like looks up and he's strumming, and you can see he's activating some type of runes on the side of it as like, and he goes, and he kind of strums this power chord as a blast of Lumora kind of like forces its way over at you, and this is going to be a probably right at Seraphina. That is a 18 against your evasion.
Yeah, that hits.
That hits. Okay, so as this what looks like blast of Lumora energy in like a musical note comes flying towards you, you get hit. That is 24 points of force or magic damage.
I am your shield.
Okay, yeah.
Holy
so it is.
crud.
It's this blast that gets hit as you feel yourself get hit, and with I am your shield, you take that damage.
Yep.
Do you mitigate that?
Yep, I spend half of my armor to knock that to 0.
So you take 0 damage as you bring your sword and almost like catch the magic with the sword,
slicing down, and another one of those energy arcs just kind of intercepts and causes, right before it would hit Seraphina, this collision that like interacts with each other and sort of explodes harmlessly right in front of her.
Welcome to the Battle Ballad, where this is a literal battle of songs, a battle of the bands amidst a battle on the field. It is everything, as you see, as the other band members are starting to prepare and do you see like the bassist, he kind of like turns his bass or his bass drum around, and as you do it, you see like this odd looking, almost like a cannon of energy, and he's like, and you see this like, and you hear like the crowd like oh,
I'm so excited that I'm on their side of the field.
yeah.
So this is the drummer doing that?
This is the drummer, yeah.
Beautiful. I would like to pierce his drum right before he climaxes to that final note.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack.
Are you doing it with an arrow or your horns? I can just see you charging across with your...
I actually have a short sword that I will use. I'm going to use my rally dice. 12 with fear.
Oh, that does not succeed.
Let's make that a 15.
15 does. Yeah, 15. I still get the fear, right? Yeah. A 15 succeeds as you go through. He sees you coming down. He stops and he like he's starting to point the cannon right at you. Goes, you motherfucker. He kind of points, but just as you get there, you pierce the drum. As you pierce the drum, the energy releases. I'm going to spend 2 fear to activate that. You hear the rip of the canvas hide, or might even be some type of leather hide or animal hide drum. But as the energy that was built up releases, you get blown back.
Worth
as you take 21 points of magic damage as you jump in As you hear Syl on the side goes, oh wow,
Hey, we got some dirty play going on here, guys. It's you're not allowed to cross the stage, but who do we care? It's entertaining.
So I've been here.
yeah. But you get blown back to a far range, and I'll even say you get blown back into the arena.
Oh.
You right in the middle.
In the middle?
In the middle, yeah. Boom! As you land kind of on the ground, the frog next to you kind of like looks back, looks like, and like is gonna like attack you at the moment. But for the time being, spotlight's on y'all.
I want out.
Yeah. Understandable. Have a nice day.
I'll hop back out. Yeah.
I got nothing that can reach that far. Somebody do something about those assholes.
As you jump out, this is not necessarily an opportunity attack, but he was swinging on you anyways, right as you landed.
Yeah.
So he is going to swing
And
away.
so since he did swing, I'm going to shoot him back.
Okay.
Do your thing, and then I will shoot back.
He swings for a 13 against your evasion.
That beats it, so.
Does a meager 11 points of physical damage as you get hit by what looks like a halberd, but it's almost like a mace on a long stick, and you get slammed. And he looks like you hear like a large kind of croak of happiness from this ribbit.
Sweet. So I shoot him in the face.
Yep. So you jump out of the arena, or are you shooting before you jump?
No, I jump up at least to like the railing and then
like
loose it at him.
Mid jump, you're like,
yeah. Come on. Unfortunate. So that is 13 again.
13 is the difficulty for these guys. As you jump in and
with hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll that damage.
8 points of physical damage.
Okay. 8 points of physical damage. Severian, what are you doing?
I am going to launch myself back at the Froggo who just attacked me with battle axe.
Okay.
And attack him back. 14 with fear. I cannot roll with hope. Oh, I'm going to use a Slayer die on this too.
Okay.
13 physical damage.
13, you turn around, you hit this ribbit. This is like a big hulking ribbit. He looks at you like he's like a toad folk, but as you kind of stab into him, like you see him, his eyes kind of like turn and goes, and it looks like he opens his mouth real wide, and his tongue it like shoots out and grapples you. Well, maybe. Oh, that's a natural 20. No, it's supposed to be yay! You guys did it wrong. Natural 20. That is a 6 plus. 1 plus 1, so 8 points of 8 points of tongue damage.
Don't
That's a real tongue lashing.
You are now grappled by this tongue as he kind of like wraps it around. He almost like pulls you in close to him. The rest of the battle, I'm going to just roll some dice here, see what happens. The battle starts is undergoing or underway as the ribbits and the Galapagos start attacking each other. You see swords being smashed, punches and kicking. The turtles kind of like one of them kind of like pulls into its shell and rolls around and gets kicked by the other turtle, and as that turtle kind of comes through, smashes one of the frogs in the face. The frog with the stick, the staff that hit Pinakua, go ahead and lay him down. Nope, the frog, that one, yeah. So the one that hit you with the mace, he goes unconscious by turtle shell as he gets hit in the face.
It's like Mario.
Yeah. As the Galapagos pops out of his shell, and he goes, totally awesome, guys. Sorry, there was a deep sigh there, but man, I'm not going to say what I thought I said because I'm pretty sure that's copyrighted.
I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But you all know what we're thinking.
Yes.
Horse a booyah?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Course a booyah.
It's awful.
There's the title episode.
Well, that's sticking. Spotlight's back on y'all.
How is Severian looking? Like, does he look like he still has a good chance of winning?
It's 50-50.
All right.
Pretty
As
beat
soon
up.
as it looks like he's...
I'm not losing, just to clarify.
As soon as it looks like there is a chance of him losing, I am just preparing myself to shadow step in and Rain of Blades the rest of them.
Yeah, buddy.
I was waiting for that.
Heck yeah.
Oh, I just had a question. How far apart are the two stages? Are they close?
They are far.
They're far.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I can't do shit. Literally, I am your shield right now. That's it.
So I would like to kind of try and go back into the Battle of the Bands thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to turn to the crowd since I'm kind of standing on the rail by the crowd, and I'm going to start drumming on the rails in front of them.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and like duh, and point at the other band. I'm gonna do it like 5 or 6 times, trying to get the whole crowd into it, like get them shouting as they point their hands at the band. And the last time that I do it, I'm gonna cast Vicious Entangle as I charge up my own magic music attack.
There we go. Okay. I'm here for it.
And I'm gonna roll better this time.
Yeah, you will.
20 with fear.
Sweet. You target a specific person, right?
So I'm gonna go after the fiddle. And is the brass close to the fiddle?
The brass is not.
Okay, who would be the closest together?
Probably the guy with
The two strings.
the lyre.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lyre and the
So there was
fiddle would
one
be
that was
close
like a
together.
bass?
Yeah.
I'm gonna target the fiddle,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to spend a hope because I succeeded to target an additional creature next to them within very close range of the target. So they are both going to be restrained.
Ooh.
But only the fiddle will take damage.
Okay.
But they will both be restrained.
Mm-hmm.
Maximum damage, so 9 points of physical damage, and then both of them are restrained.
So 9 points of physical damage to one of them.
Vera, Needle Nissa.
Yeah, Needle Nissa. Yeah, thank
The
you.
fiddle. Yep. And then the bold bone, was that the other one? Yep. So he is restrained. Nissa took the damage.
Okay.
And as this blast comes out, I take, since there's no plant life here, I take the wood from the stage underneath them and wrap it up around their bodies.
Sick.
The wood kind of solidifies them into place. They can still take actions on their turn. They just can't move. I'm gonna spend a fear for the fiddle player is kind of like going through as this happens. Like it's like still trying to play, like kind of like stopping, kind of looking at everything, and it's like trying to start strumming a little harder. And as you do, you see like the Lumora around her is like kind of like going through and making a beeline to. I'll say you attacked her. So like she comes over, hits you with a magical music blast. Dude, this dice is so hot, man.
Oh, come
so
on.
Hot. Dude, like, wow. I'm gonna have to start make sure you guys
I'll just
see this.
mark that arm.
You can verify it if you want to.
I believe it. The unfortunate thing is I don't have to.
Yeah, I know.
believe
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. The bad part, if I was rolling open like I usually do, I'd be rolling like utter dog shit.
It's true. It's true.
It is true.
That's how it works.
Natural 20 for those that since I didn't say it. This one's gonna hurt. This is a fiddle blast. That is 18 points of magic damage.
Yeah.
Still stout.
Yeah.
Still major damage.
Okay.
With I'm using
Market
my
armor.
last armor.
Okay. So you what does that look like?
As my final armor is broken, so I am wearing just like leather armor, very basic, kind of humble, and I think as the waves of this fiddle kind of rip through the material, it kind of tears at the seams and starts shredding it apart, kind of falling to pieces. The inner lining kind of revealing a almost regal lining, kind of a gold inlay, like a velvet almost, on the inside, but the outside's rough and rugged, and it just kind of rips apart at the seams as that wave courses through my body.
I'm going to, because I've kind of just been stalking, looking at the fight, making sure that Severian's okay, noticing that you've fallen back in and out of the pit. I've been kind of I've been closer to the enemy stage. I am going to spend 3 hope to transform into a different beast without marking a stress.
Nice.
When I do so, I increase a stat of my choice. And I'm going to convert into a wolf. Basically what Basigar was, but just a lot bigger, a lot bulkier. And I'm going to go towards Kua and try to just grab him and bring him towards my other companions on the stage.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not doing. Other than that, I'm just gonna truly just bring him to the stage.
Sweet.
Get me out of here.
Yeah. You grab him, bring him back.
How bad does this guy look that's grappling me?
Pretty bad.
Okay, I want to try to finish him.
Okay.
20 with fear.
Hey.
11 damage.
How do you end this frog?
I cut his tongue off.
The tongue severs seamlessly. So satisfying. Just as you see his head snap back, just like a blood split, like sprout arcs over his head.
Nice.
He takes the knee, kind of stops, goes, and he starts frog screaming. You know how like when frogs are like inflated and just like knock that guy down. One of the turtles kind of looks at you, stops, or sorry, Galapagos looks at you, kind of like doesn't know what to do. Kind of spins his sword, kind of goes through.
They're kind of on the younger side.
They're young Galapagos. Yeah. They're definitely young.
You know,
they're inexperienced.
Yeah, they're in their second decade.
I didn't know this was a dance routine.
He does like a flip, and as he does a flip, you know, his swords kind of come out. But this turtle never uses his swords. He always kicks people for some reason. We'll go through a roundhouse kick to you, but that's a 8. Which misses. As this roundhouse kick comes around, you dodge out of the way. He kind of lands in a superhero pose. So I guess I should have spent a fear for that action. He missed, so it's back on y'all. The bands are going crazy. The fiddle's kind of like taking care of. The drum is out of commission. Looks like the brass player is kind of looking around, getting ready to do something. You see him like put what looks like a mute in his trumpet, and as he pushes it in, you see it start to like glow with energy, and starts getting ready for an attack. But
has Seraphina been singing this whole time?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. During everything, like this, like music's going on, you're playing. Yeah.
So I have a question. So there's one turtle left, or is there two? I'm sorry,
There's 4 Galapagos left, and two frogs.
Oh, so it's the frogs that have gone down.
Yeah.
So the Galapagos are still up.
Yep.
I did some damage to that one guy though.
Just say the word and I'll knock him down.
Okay. And they have been damaged from each other. Like the Ribbits and the Galapagos were fighting each other.
Yeah,
so.
did they take any more swings at each other?
Ribbit 1, 2 is down and 3 is down.
Oh, wow.
So one of them hasn't taken any damage.
Assuming this one in the back that hasn't.
Yeah. He is looking
Four's
like
down as
getting
well.
ready to throw some magic on. The turtles are, they've all taken some damage from everybody. But go ahead.
I have advantage on sprinting. So that's truly just what I'm doing. Would I've made it to the other stage at this point? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm back with Kua, and I'm kind of like, I honestly just kind of like throw you onto the stage close to whoever's probably Seraphina.
I just kind of roll off the stage and hide behind it a little bit.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that didn't feel good. Oh, that's gonna creak in the morning.
So, to be within close range of the other stage, I would need to be what, like middle of the battle?
Close is 10 to 30, so yeah, you would have to go about middle of the pit.
Okay. If somebody else wants to do something, they can. I'm
But you
just
can
trying
also
to...
you could fly above it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I figured. So are we still performing the second song, or is that kind of...
I'd say yeah. So it's kind of like a jam at this moment. It's more of like the last surviving band wins.
Okay. Seraphina's gonna look down at, I guess, Zeph, and you were probably right there by the stage
I'm at
too,
the bottom
right?
of the stage, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also there now.
Yeah.
Just kind of in a puddle.
She's gonna kind of look at all of you guys and then like flap her wings and fly up and out over the battlefield so that I can get within close range.
Okay.
Now, whose instruments are still functional? Like
the fiddle, the brass, the
I only damaged
vocalist.
the drum.
Well, the vocalist is vulnerable.
They could still sing if they wanted to, but they've just been humiliated, so they really don't want to. So they've just like they are there, just kind of like it's like the 8 Mile when like he goes to rap, but he can't, so he just kind of like just chokes.
So they're just
like,
standing there with like spaghetti on their
Yeah,
shirt. Yeah, I gotcha.
The trumpet was powering up an attack.
All right. So I have a question with the instruments. So like with the drum, he was able to like pierce the drum. Is there a way to attack the instruments, or do you have to attack the person?
You can.
So,
If it's a spell that requires a target, like or like a creature, then it has to be a person. But
well, so I was going to use my whip
okay,
to like whip the instrument basically out of his hands.
Okay. Yeah.
And if possible, like kind of whip it and knock it into like down into like the pit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and make your attack roll for your whip.
Nice.
Hey, that's y'all's first crit for the night, right?
I know.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
And it was double 12s.
In 2 episodes.
Yeah, it was
I don't think
double
y'all crit
12s
last episode
too.
either. Oh, 2 12s. That's like that should be like a super crit.
Uber crit.
Right?
Sweet. All right. This is your moment to
Yeah,
tell.
so like I said, I mean,
hope mark the stress.
she's basically just trying to whip the instrument out of his hand, the one that was like, you could tell he was powering it up, and just like fling it down into the pit, like right under like everybody's feet where they're scuffling and stuff, you know? And she kind of looks at the guy and goes like this at him.
And you like stops as like the trumpet gets ripped out of his hands and kind of like falls down on the ground. And the magic was primed. The magic goes off as this rocket of like the mute of the trumpet goes like almost like an RPG, and just like screams out of this thing. I'm gonna say it hits I mean, that's almost a perfect line for those Galapagos right there. It just hits those Galapagos.
Man, those poor young turtles.
That one was...
Those above tween but not yet 20 turtles.
Yeah.
Both of those Galapagos get knocked unconscious right in the line. So the closest to you, Jeff, yeah. So as they get hit, you see the other Galapagos are kind of standing there, kind of looking wide-eyed.
I want to do something.
Yeah, please do.
Ignoring the turtle that just tried to attack me, I want to look at the frog in the corner and pick up the tongue that I cut off and then just like scarf it down in front of him, trying to intimidate him.
Like suck it up like a noodle.
Yeah.
Just lady
exactly
tramps this guy's tongue.
Can I try to make an intimidation roll?
Absolutely. What is, and I guess that would be a presence.
Which I'm not very good at, but I can use my bardic inspiration die.
Sweet.
Whatever that's called.
Rally die.
Rally die.
If you crit
I
this,
should
I'm
know
walking
that, 'cause
out.
I
Legally
played the
distinct bardic inspiration.
Oh man, you got it.
20 with hope.
Nice.
20 with hope. Nice. To gain that hope back as the shaman
And I'm
is kind
taking
of
a
like
Slayer die instead of hope.
the ribbit shaman kind of stops as he's kind of like looks like he's preparing for a spell. And he's like he's got like the trinkets or like baubles of glass around him. He looks like he's kind of like frantically like trying to pull one. He's getting ready to lob as he looks at you. He kind of like stops and like holds his mouth a little bit and kind of like puts his arm down, kind of looks down at his friend on the floor, like holding his mouth, just like not having a good day. As he's like screaming in pain, he kind of stops and kind of looks around, takes the bauble, throws it. Looks like it is going to miss you completely, but it hits the Galapagos that is right beside you. It shatters on his face and looks like it's like almost like a puff of some type of acid or like magical effect. That Galapagos kind of stops, he kneels down and kind of like falls down on his back, and he's like flailing a little bit on his back.
He's on his shell.
Yeah, he's on his shell. Looks like there just one Galapagos left.
Do I get the idea that he wants to stay in the fight, the frog?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll charge for him then.
Oh, no.
Since that wasn't enough.
That didn't do the trick, I guess.
You should stick the ribbit tongue in and out of your mouth as you're charging him.
That's crazy.
Like a gummy worm.
Yeah.
18 with fear.
18 with fear.
Back to that.
That hits.
I'm going to use my Slayer die on my damage.
Do you have enough? Never mind.
15 damage.
Okay, that is major damage. As you run at him, he gets hit. You roll fear. I don't need to spend 2 to interrupt. So I will spend a fear to spotlight him. He is going to use his magical ability. Yeah, so he is going to use his arcane blast. Kind of like steps in, he takes off one of his little baubles, pushes it, and slams it against your chest. He does not like you being so close. He likes being ranged. 17 against your evasion.
That hits.
Arcane blast. 19 points of magic damage.
Okay, that's going to break my armor, and I'm at 1 hit point.
Everybody's like... with just the cacophony of violence going around. I will continue to activate the Galapagos. The Galapagos looks around, looks at his brothers that are down. It picks up his sticks on a chain.
Sticks on a chain.
and runs at you guys. Slides in, goes in for an attack. And I'm gonna say against.
So does he yell "bovine dude" as he runs across?
He goes, "Bovine dude!" 20, he attacks the shaman. 1, he attacks Severian. That's a 20.
Oh, thank God.
20 as he kind of runs around, jumps in, uses his foot to plant, slams down, and goes in for an attack against the shaman homie. It's a natural 19. That hits this guy. He goes, slams down on this guy with your damage that you did to him. This guy, the shaman, the sticks kind of like smack this dude right on the head, and he like kind of slams down. As he stops, picks himself up, he adjusts his very kind of like burnt orange mask, looks at you, he goes, "It's just you and me, dude."
It's about to be just me.
Does anybody else want a spotlight at this moment?
Yes.
Okay.
So, as I kind of see, I saw Kua pretty hurt. I can tell that my friend down in the pit is also looking like he's taken a couple of hits. So I'm going to change my song. And it starts to be more like a little more mellow sounding. And I'm now singing about like the triumphant warrior in the pit who is, you know, stopped all these foes, one man against so many, you know, and the brave goat who, you know,
I was in the pit. I did the pit.
Yeah.
First 1 second.
The brave goat who leapt so far across and, you know,
Of his own volition, he leapt in.
yeah, he did. And any allies who need it can get 1 hit point back.
Ooh.
I do need it, thank you.
Yes. I thank you very much.
Okay. What's Kieran doing during all this?
He's been kind of waiting at the edge of the fight pit, just ready to jump in and just sneak a blow in there to make sure Severian wins. Seeing that he kind of has this in hand, especially with the bolster from Seraphina, I'm looking at this other band who's done a little bit too much to my allies. And, you know, it's just... I think it's time to take them down a notch. And I'll do exactly what I plan to do in the pit on them.
Okay.
So you're going to shadow step behind them and pants all of them?
Something like that.
Pants all of them, but instead of their pants coming down, it's daggers going through their body.
Yeah. I'm going to shadow step in their midst, behind the shadow of the singer, let's say. Who I assume is in kind of the middle of all of them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of shadows around here because most of the lights have been extinguished by our Basgard fire dog, Firewolf.
So I'm going to spend 2 hope to first, 1 to activate Rain of Blades and the other to activate my experience, Shadow Prince, as I'm manipulating their own shadows into stabbing them and their instruments. No. And why not their pants? Because it says all targets. Okay. A 15 with hope.
You succeed in your endeavors as you shadow step in the midst of the iron strings, or what's left on the iron strings. The brass player has lost his trumpet. The bass the war drummer has a non-functioning drum at the moment. The lyre is kind of like just like locked up in the player's arms by the wood from the entangle from Pinakua. Looks like the only instrument left is the fiddle, but she's still restrained, and the vocalist who is just trying to get her nerve up, just can't seem to get it.
The vocalist is still vulnerable, isn't
yes, she? So I will deal extra damage to her.
Yeah.
I will spend my rally dice on this, and I will also have sneak attack damage on this. So. And this will hit all of them and their instruments.
Nice.
And their pants.
And their pants.
And their pants.
Yeah. So that's only 8 magic damage against most of them. Well,
okay.
5, so 13 on the singer.
Okay.
And 8 on everything else.
Their belts don't really withstand that much damage. You do end up pantsing the whole band as they take damage. Oops. That is enough to halt them as the instruments kind of cease to play. The only instruments left playing now are the pickle. You just hear this odd little pickle solo and the beautiful vocals from Seraphina and the pounding. I guess you're not pounding anymore.
Very weakly from the side of the stage at this point. Now that I got healed up a little bit, I'm just like laying on the ground and like trying to pound on the stands right right next to me, like, come on, keep the beat up.
Before anyone can really realize what's happening in the flickering light, my disguise will fade away as I shadow step off stage.
Shadow step off
and back
stage.
into
They're
the
kind
crowd.
of looking around and like they're all like their pants. Everybody starts laughing at them, kind of pointing and laughing, which is probably the biggest humiliation. They kind of stop and they look around and they look at everybody. They look at you guys and the bass drummer, the bassist, the ones that aren't restrained run off the stage.
Zeph, seeing this across the way, yells out as Kieran melts into the shadow, "About fucking time! Jesus!"
Okay.
And with them stopped playing in that like moment of silence, I'll start a slow clap.
Nice. As you do that, I'm going to spend my last fear to activate the burnt orange clad young
fighting this
Galapagos
mutant
in a I'm going to say this
Does he look
guy's
like a mutant? I don't know.
No, you do.
probably in a 3/4 shell. Like brings
From a
his
pizza to yield.
Yeah.
What's pizza?
Kind of stops and he goes in for his attack. That's gonna miss as you catch his chained stick.
Get me worried.
He goes, oh no, bro, it's totally not cool, bro. Now you can go.
And I'm
do
going to
not
keep
have...
crescendoing that slow clap.
Yeah.
I'm spending both of my hopes to use both of my experiences. I have one, whatever it takes, and the other one's not dead yet because I'm on the brink of death.
Yeah.
Crit.
Oh!
Yes!
Yay.
Double ones.
Nice. That is like the best crit.
That's awesome. Okay.
Sweet.
Amazing.
What do I do?
You get a hope.
Yeah.
And you clear
get a hope
stress.
to clear stress.
Okay, that's awesome.
Brutal damage. So your whatever damage you do, max damage, then roll again. Yep. Bruticles.
Bruticles.
Since I just rolled with hope, I'm also going to use a Slayer die.
Or throw it on the floor. That works too.
That's the sound of this Galapagos opening.
26.
Yeah, that is severe damage to that bro Galapa. Narratively describe your victory.
Yeah, so I catch his sticks on chains and break the chain, follow through directly into his body. I'm not trying to kill him.
Oh.
I wasn't. Oh, am I killing him?
Oh, yeah.
Then, yeah, I just don't know my own strength and just go straight through him.
You weren't trying, but you did.
Yeah.
You just succeeded.
Yeah, just completely cleaved in half.
Whatever it
Start
takes.
laughing.
You hear the
Very-
crowd erupt in roar, the bloodshed. The rest of the contenders that are not eliminated are rolling around in either unconsciousness or just non-willing to get up to compete again. Syl steps down and goes,
Fine folks of the Rusted
Piper. Thank you. Man, I had it in my head, and then it's like as soon as I started, it was just like, nope, we're just gonna
I love
forget
that
everything.
he gets down there and he's like, I don't even know where
I
I
don't even know what this place is. Syl's probably had too many concussions, so maybe that's what I'll blame it on.
The Rusted, where the fuck am Piper?
Yeah.
Fine folks of the Rusted Piper, may I present to you the winner of tonight's extravaganza. Not only down in the fighting pit, but on the stage as well. Seraphina and her warriors.
The crowd go in a mayhem. They start just like slamming on the door. It's like it is a cacophony of applause. It is a glorious moment as you see what looks like flowers and stuff and like different things get thrown down into the pit and onto the stage. And Syl kind of climbs down. He looks up, goes,
Korga, would you provide our winners with their winnings, please?
Korga goes, kind of steps down from the side booth. Looks like he's got what looks like a chest of stuff.
Yes, to the winners of tonight's Battle Ballad, Seraphina and the Warriors. Remember to tip your waitresses, go to the bookie and earn your winnings, pay your debts. For tonight was a showcase of talent.
Everybody kind of cheers and laughs as he goes over and hands you the chest that he is carrying.
Well earned, my odd friend.
Are there more people to fight?
Not this night.
I kind of like wave at you guys on the stage, and I'm like pointing to all the bodies. Hey, I did this. You see this? This one was cool.
You have a chest full with your winnings of a couple things, but as a whole, with your bet, how much did you just bet a handful?
I bet Severian's handful and my 2 handfuls.
Okay, so you double your earnings. Nice. So you get 2 handfuls back. You get 4 handfuls.
I'll give Severian one of them. So we're both at 3.
Both have 3 handfuls in the chest. If you so open it, I'm not going to force you to open it, but let me know when you do, and I'll let you know what's in it.
Yeah, we'll open it in secret.
Okay.
Yeah, not in front of the entire crowd.
Back in the green room.
Yeah. Okay. But people start coming out and like collecting the injured and things of that nature. But you have won the the Battle of the Ballads here at the Rusted Piper for a super late entry. Humiliated the Iron Strings in their home turf. Upstaged them. Upstaged the pit. Everything.
That was so sick, guys.
Yeah.
I need a drink.
I could get used to this. I've never really performed in front of so many people before.
Well, if you'd like to impress Angelica, you should get used to it.
Oh, wow. You know what? Maybe we should start a band.
Absolutely not. Still in wolf form.
You do have to. You do have to return that, Pickle.
Oh man. Right. He hands it to. Well, you didn't give it to me.
I'll take it back to the owner.
Okay. Do you know where the guy that gave it to me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hands it to you. I'm trusting you on this. As you, he kind of looks up. You see Wilhelm kind of like cock his head a little bit, kind of like stops, shakes his head. Do you know them? He's kind of leaning over to you before you take off. You look up and there's a couple people standing in the stands that are one of the few that are just standing there instead of cheering or talking, high-fiving each other. They kind of like look, and they are wearing dark cloaks with golden trimmed roping and things of that, and just garb of some sorts. But they have their hoods down, but as soon as you look up, they put their cloaks up, stop. They are wearing the hoods and the cloaks of one of the Ashen Rings.
Is it possible to tell which of them, or simply...
It's a little too chaotic to tell which one they are.
Okay.
But you can tell there are 2 of the Ashen Rings there. One short, stocky, and one kind of taller. They head out and kind of turn around and walk out. But you guys can make your way up to the green room.
How long are we in there before somebody reminds me that I have the 2 band members entangled?
They'll figure it out.
Yeah. They're like, excuse me, little help, please.
It cuts to after hours and bars closed.
Yeah.
I figure at some point somebody's like, could you, and I will release them.
Yeah, I guess we can, unless there's anything else that you guys want to do, we can call it there, pick up there next session. Feels like a good stopping point. I know, sorry I didn't leave you on a super big cliffhanger, but...
Two cloaked figures, I think, is enough.
Yeah, no visions of
had quite a
Basigar. No royal paternity tests.
You are the father.
The chest of winnings is the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf Basigar looks at Kieran. Blood test.
I shadow step away.
Yeah. I don't know. Make a presence roll.
Make a presence.
use your
puppy
charm.
dog
Your
eyes.
puppy dog eyes.
Yes. Can I have advantage?
Yeah, because you're a
I'm
dog.
actually a wolf, not the dog, but they can still do it. You said I have advantage?
As I'm cloaked, you have disadvantage.
So close to a crit. That's a 7. No, wait, presence. It's a dirty crit for a
Dirty
6.
That is less than half of my evasion.
It's the wolf form, guys.
Yeah, it's the wolf.
Yeah, it's not
It's a little more aggressive.
Yeah, I'm still on fire. Yeah.
And I do spend my other prayer die to refill my hope all the way
Wow. Nice.
before we're done.
Severian looks like beat to shit, but you've never seen him happier.
That checks out.
Yeah. At least he's happy. Oh, man. Thanks, y'all. Seriously, thank you for listening. If you're enjoying Tales by Daggerlight so far, help us out by hitting that like button wherever you're listening, or leave us a rating, comment, share the show wherever you can if you haven't done so already. It seriously makes a big difference, like far beyond a like button or whatever. Sharing the show is the best way to help us out. If you have any questions or theories, fan art, head over to talesbydaggerlight.com and navigate over to our community tab, where you can submit your own fan art and join our Discord server. We look forward to seeing all of you and what you guys have to show us. So let's hope our heroes can survive another night.
How about a night? We haven't had a single night yet.
Yeah, I guess we haven't had a single night yet. It's just been one day, so it is night time. So this could be your moment to bed down and find a place to stay. But yeah, until next time, make sure to listen again, because the fate of our adventurers is TBD.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Holy shit.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was a fun impromptu change of pace.
I really thought you were going to kill me with that last roll. I will say...
Those band instruments were...
Yeah, they're killer.
Yeah.
They were.
I was tempted.
We're still just level 1. At least let us level up before you kill us.
Horse a booyah?
Hey, Kurt Wilde here, coming to you from the recording studio, or should I say closet or goblin hole, maybe penalty box, something. I don't know what this is. It feels like I'm tight in here, but a rising tide lifts all boats. So while you're waiting for the next Tales by Daggerlight episode to drop, head on over to the Talking Crit Discord server, and you might find us hanging out there, as well as some amazing other content creators such as Dodoborn, Momentum, System Shifters, Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire, all really great content creators that we highly recommend that you go check out. And we'll see you next episode. This one's going to be a doozy. I hope you can trust me.